Ji students, welcome to the third session of our week 14 video session. And students, we are on, we can say, the development of the progress report or how we have to organize and what we have to do from progress report development point of view. So students, generally, what we have to do is, and the way we have to make different, you can say, how we have to follow the different format or the basic format of progress report, sorry. So this one is the basic format as already we have discussed in the last slide. So in detail now we have to see, मैंने पिछली भी एक दो स्लाइड्स के अंदर आपको बताया कि हमारे पास थ्री बेसिक we can say parts होते हैं रिपोर्ट की पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से. दैट कैन बी द इंट्रोडक्शन, जिसको हम ट्रांजिशनल इंट्रोडक्शन कहते हैं ना. व्हाट्स द रीजन व्हाई इट्स नोन एज ट्रांजिशनल इंट्रोडक्शन? आप लोग माशाल्लाह अब 8th सेमेस्टर में होंगे. You know very well why it's known as transitional introduction. Transitional means you can say linked with the next one and the previous one. So जब भी कोई भी आपका you can say paragraph, sentence or whatever word use करते हैं जो आपका linked hota hai with the next one, with the future one, with the, you can say next statement, and you can say also linked with the previous one. तो उस statements को, उस sentence word को हम कहते हैं transitional statement word sentence. So right now it's a transitional introduction. Why it's you can say just like transition is just like a bridge between two, and that can be the future or that can be the past. So transitional introduction, because definitely it must be linked with the previous one कि पिछली रिपोर्ट में ये हुआ था, इसलिए बहुत important चीज जो आपको पता होना चाहिए. This report is also known as you can say continuation of story or reference report. Why it's known as reference report or continuation of story? What's the basic reason? We have to find out right now. Because first of all, we have to see what is the transitional introduction. जल्दी से go through हो जाते हैं. Transitional introduction, the report must identify the nature and scope of the subject matter of the report and relate to the previous report or reports. So ये अभी जो मैंने आपको बताया है कि the report must identify the nature and the scope. What's the basic purpose? What will be the nature of and scope and subject matter? That means what will be the objectives. तो ये तीन चीजें जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती है इंट्रोडक्टरी पैरा के अंदर, इंट्रोडक्शन के अंदर, इंट्रोडक्टरी स्लाइड्स के अंदर, जिसमें आप स्कोप भी बताएंगे, पर्पस भी बताएंगे, ऑब्जेक्टिव्स भी बताएंगे. ये सब आपके इंट्रोडक्टरी पार्ट में आते हैं, चाहे वो पर्पस प्रपोज रिपोर्ट हो, रिकमेंडेशन रिपोर्ट हो या प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट हो. ये सब चीजें आपकी इंट्रोडक्शन में आती हैं. व्हाई इट्स नोन एज ट्रांजिशनल इंट्रोडक्शन? देन the writer may expect to summarize earlier progress as a background for the present account. First, you have to summarize the earlier progress as a present account, link it with the present account, and you have to summarize the previous session. Finally, if circumstances warrants or if it is expected, the writer may present a brief statement of the conclusion. So then your writer may present a brief statement of the conclusion reached in the present unit of work and possibly some recommendations. Right. So after you can say after some time, some circumstances warrants are if it is expected, the writer may present a brief statement. Generally, you have to write down something very briefly of the conclusion reached in the present unit of work and possibly some recommendations. So this part of the report need not to be lengthy. It is essentially a reminder to the reader. So generally हम कह रहे हैं कि introduction में first we have to link it with the previous report कि अच्छा पिछली report में ये हुआ, और फिर then you have to describe कि right now these are the circumstances और हम इसमें ऐसे ऐसे काम करेंगे. प्रेजेंट सेशन को आपने दो तीन स्टेटमेंट्स में बताया, एंड वन लास्ट स्टेटमेंट दैट कैन बी द रिकमेंडेशन अबाउट फ्यूचर. You can say you have to be promising in writing the statement that means in future this is what we will do. In the next we will complete this objective, this objective, this objective. But don't be too much promising. That means कभी भी आपको एक राइटर को बहुत ज़्यादा promising नहीं होना चाहिए कि मैं ये भी करूँगा, ये भी करूँगा, ये भी करूँगा. At the end of the day, you are not able to manage even a single task, and it's like very difficult for you. So it's very important. That means there is no need to be too much promising. So this one is about transitional introduction because it's linked with the previous one and it's linked with the future one. फ्यूचर की एक स्टेटमेंट देंगे, नॉट टू मच बिकॉज जो ज़्यादा हमने डिटेल देंगे वो जो इसका थर्ड पोर्शन है कंक्लूजन का उसमें हम बताएंगे और बीच में थोड़ी सी हमने डिस्क्रिप्शन देनी है प्रेजेंट स्टेट के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से. So this is known as transitional introduction. Next one is about the body of the report. Now, what is body of the report? And with the introduction, the report must tackle the body of the report. The detailed account of current progress. The first step that needs to be stressed here is the importance of, you can say, the report. Making this part of the report complete, accurate, and clear. Whether it's accurate, complete, and clear, then it is fine. Otherwise, it's not acceptable. So remember that the report is not a personal record for the writer, but contains information for some particular readers or readers about the work done. So that means a report is not a personal record for the, you can say, writer or the reader, but it contains the information for some particular reader about the work done. तो बॉडी ऑफ द रिपोर्ट में आपने क्या बताना होता है, जो सिंपली मैंने स्टार्ट में आपको बताया. बॉडी ऑफ द रिपोर्ट के अंदर आपने बताना है कि व्हाट्स द प्रेजेंट स्टेट, whatever you are doing in this stage right now, and what you will do in future, that will be in the next step, and you have to link it with the last statement of the body of the report. So giving a careful detailed account of work done may require the presentation of the quite a mass of data. Usually such data, particular numerical data, cannot be presented in the conventional sentence paragraph pattern. It would be unreadable table of the uh, tables of the codes and the answers or whatever. That means you have to give the detail regarding your next report at the future and so on at the next, you can say, conclusion session. So this one is about the body of the report. जैसे हम body of the letter, body of any document describe करते हैं तो उसके अंदर हमने presently you have to give, you can say, almost 70% detail in the present session. बाकी 15% आपका introduction और conclusion का session देगा. So it may be necessary to present a careful and detailed statement of the conclusion reached, even though these conclusions have been briefly stated in the introduction. So you have to be very much careful and be brief and to the point in the introduction and to give them, you can say, um, statement. You must tell your reader approximately what they may expect the next report to be about and what its coverage or scope will be. Along with this forecast, it may be advisable to estimate the time necessary for completion of the entire project. So the time of the project. So as long as whatever we have done, जो भी हमने body of the report तक हमने cover किया, उसको आप you have to link it with the future one. Okay, this is what we have done in this report, and this is what we will do in the, you can say, next report. That is the reason this report is also known as reference report. Like आप report 1 है, report 2 है, रिपोर्ट 3 है और रिपोर्ट 4 है. तो आप क्या करेंगे, आप रिपोर्ट 1 के अंदर इंट्रोडक्शन देंगे, पास्ट का बताएंगे अगर कोई है तो उसका प्रेजेंट और रिकमेंडेशन दे देंगे. अब रिकमेंडेशन के अंदर यू हैव टू रेफर टू द नेक्स्ट रिपोर्ट, जिसमें आप बताएंगे कि रिपोर्ट सो एंड सो के अंदर या नेक्स्ट वीक की रिपोर्ट के अंदर आई विल डिस्क्राइब ऑल दीज थिंग्स दैट दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव टू कवर इन ऑल दीज, यू कैन से सेकंड वीक सेशन. सो सेकेंड वीक के अंदर फिर अगले में आप इसी तरह यही काम रिपीट करेंगे. दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव डन, दिस इज व्हाट राइट नाउ वी आर डूइंग एंड दिस इज व्हाट वी विल डू इन द फ्यूचर, थर्ड रिपोर्ट के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से. एंड दिस इज हाउ वी कैन क्रिएट द लिंक. दैट इज द रीजन इज नोन एज रेफरेंस रिपोर्ट कि आप रेफर कर रहे होते हैं नेक्स्ट रिपोर्ट के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से. So right now I have told you it is important question. Don't promise too much. Don't be too much promising. It is very easy for the inexperienced worker to, you can say, estimate the amount of work that can be covered in forthcoming period. So you have to tell what will be, you can say, what तो ये आपका कंक्लूजन का सेशन आ जाता है. So this one is about our, you can say, transitional introduction, and then body of the report, जो हर report के अंदर ये तीन सेशन होते हैं, and conclusion और recommendation. So this one is about the way you have to write down the what will be the format and all that. कुछ बाकी चीजें हैं जो हम next slides के अंदर cover करेंगे. For this, you can say video. Thank you so much, students.